Hey Wildcats, now let's do some examples together. I want us to remember that in order to find probability, we're going to write it as a fraction, saying the number of favorable outcomes as our numerator over the number of total possible outcomes as our denominator. Remember, it's important to look for keywords and to make sure we know what the question is asking for. I have a highlighter, so if you have one at home or in class, make sure you follow along with me. Some examples. The first one says there are 6 equally likely outcomes if a number cube with sides labeled 1 through 6 is rolled. This right here tells me that the numbers on this cube are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. The first question says, find the probability of rolling a 6. This might also be written as P, parentheses, 6. Looking at this, I know that out of this cube, because I have the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6, this is only 1 out of a 6 chance. I have one outcome, that's the number 6, but I have a total of 6 sides on the cube. If I were to find the percent of this, 1 out of 6, that gives me 16 2/3%. Looking at this percent, I know that it is very unlikely for me to roll the number 6. Now, this next question says find the probability of rolling a 2, 3, or 4. To set this question up, we're looking for the probability of rolling a 2, 3, or 4. This gives me 3 different options that I can roll. Looking at that, that is a 3 out of 6 chance. If I take that fraction and I simplify it, it gives me a 1 out of 2, or a 50% chance. This means that the likelihood is that it is equally likely. Let's take a look at another example. This next example says a spinner at the right is spun once. Find the probability of each event and write your answer as a fraction. We're taking a look at the spinner to the right, and we're only going to spin it to find the probability, and we want to make sure we write our answer as a fraction. Looking at our first example here, I see that we have this spinner with the numbers 7, 6, 5, 4, 1, 12, 10, and 8. This means I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 total numbers. This first question says find P parentheses 10. That means find the probability of spinning the number 10. There is only one number 10 on my spinner, so that is my option for number of favorable outcomes. However, I have a total of 8 possible outcomes. A 1 out of 8 chance is very unlikely. Because it told me to write my answer as a fraction, I'm going to leave it as 1/8. This next question says, find the probability of an even number. Well, let's make sure we identify what are the even numbers. Looking at this, I see the numbers 6, 4, 12, 10, and 8. That leaves me with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 favorable outcomes. That gives me a 5 out of 8 chance. 5 over 8 is more than 50%. And if we were to look at the percentile, it would give me a 62.5% chance, which means that it is likely that we will spin an even number. The last question for this section says, what is the probability that it will be less than 6? Let's take a look at which numbers are less than 6. We have the number 1, 4, and 5. That leaves me with only 3 out of 8 options. 3 out of 8 is less than 40%, which would be 37.5%. which means that it is unlikely that I will land on a number that is less than 6. Make sure if you need to, you can watch and rewatch this video. Our next example says we have a bag containing 5 blue, 8 red, and 7 green marbles. A marble is selected at random, and we need to find the probability of each event. What's important is that we know what this bag contains. We want to find the probability, which is going to be represented by the letter P. For question number 4, it says, what is the probability that it will not be red? Looking at our numbers, we have 5, 8, and 7. This tells me that I have a total of 20 marbles. Out of those 20 marbles, it seems that 15 are not red. 15, I'm incorrect. 5 plus 7 gives me 12. So I have a 12 out of 20 chance. However, that fraction is not in simplest form. I realize that 12 and 20 have a number in common, and I can simplify. When I simplify this fraction, I get 3 over 5, and 3/5 is a 60% chance. 60% chance means that this isn't a likely event. This next question says, what is the probability of not blue or green? Meaning the only other option left is red. So really, I'm finding the probability of landing on red. Because the only number left is 8, I'm doing an 8 out of 20 chance. I want to simplify that fraction to be 2 out of 5, which means that I have a 40% chance. However, 40% is unlikely to happen. Go ahead and try the next few on this page independently and check the Canvas page for your answers. Good luck.